One of the first things you do when you arrive in Cuba is to turn your watch back 5 hours, and then add on another 50 years. From the rooftops of Havana, you look across a landscape which in some respects hasn't changed much over that time. And of course there is the ever-present influence of the revolution. There are some strange things, like 2 currencies, one for the locals, a peso, and one for tourists, the cook. And then 3 kinds of license plate, yellow for those who own them, red for who rent them out, and blue for government-owned vehicles, and the government owns quite a lot. Old Havana is truly lovely, whether you take a tour by car or by horse-drawn carriage. The city lives under a blanket of noise and colour, with buildings that are a real mix of colonial splendour, some real squalor, and those that are kind of functional. It's really lively, and there's always something to listen to and people to watch. A trip to the Hotel Nacional provides a reminder of the casino days of pre-revolutionary Cuba, and generally there are many bars and hotels that pay homage to all kinds of celebrities like Ernest Hemingway and his drinking companions. The price of booze is very low, and of course tourists can't go a few yards without being sold rum and cigars. The revolution of 1959 permeates life even today. The icons of Fidel and Che adorn buildings, and the Museum of the Revolution, housed very appropriately in the old presidential palace, gives thanks to President Batista, who gave cause for the struggle, and several US presidents who have given the Cuban people extra resolve. The US is depicted as a land for devils. But this is rather strange given the love affair with US automobiles, which are the pride and joy of many residents. Indeed, such is the tender love and care given to these artifacts that the life expectancy of the car probably equals that of the individual Cuban. But it is the people and culture that makes Cuba so colourful, and particularly the music played in bars and clubs. Cuba is the home of the famous Buena Vista Social Club. The artistry of the dancers fits like a glove around the rhythms and tempo. Just look at this couple dancing on what looks like a postage stamp. I wouldn't try this at home unless you're very skilled. Meanwhile, on the streets, yet another set of local celebrities entertain and sell their latest CD. So we leave Havana on a 3-lane motorway heading southeast to Trinidad. Everything slows down, partially because of all the potholes, but mainly because of the vistas, and the tempo of life just do that. Life is slow, even for the local insects. Coffee production is still a major export for the country, with an early origin in faraway Ethiopia. The local nature trails and fauna are really superb, and with the right guide you earn a lot about natural life, but more importantly about the habits and beliefs of the local people. The Catholic Church is an important influence, and Trinidad has the largest church on the island. The actual town of Trinidad is quite big, it's 75,000 people, and has grown quite dramatically over the last decade, mainly due to increases in tourism. Generally in Cuba, hotel accommodation is rather mixed. The buildings are often of colonial style and have a certain magnificence, even if the food and service doesn't always match this. But with room rates at about 300 cooks, which is about £200, they really are only for the foreigners. But one of the great ways of getting close to people is to go and stay in a bed and breakfast. It's nice, it's hospitable, and it's relatively cheap at 30 cooks a night. So what do we make of all this? The people are passionate and engaging. For those of a certain age, there is a certain nostalgia around the revolution. It's done great things for the country in terms of literacy, education and health. But also there is a kind of looking forward to a new age, perhaps another revolution.